Good morning everyone, and welcome to another new video on the channel. As usual, do please remember to like, to comment and subscribe, as it helps us in getting this new channel off the ground. It is Saturday the 7th of March, and today we have one of the longest away trips of the season for Redcar Athletic as we head down into Lincolnshire to take on Lincoln United. So let's head down to the Sun Hat Villas and Resorts Stadium and see what on earth is going on. So here we are in Lincoln, and coming into today's game, Lincoln United are in 14th place in the Northern Premier League Division 1 East table, and Redcar Athletic are top, 13 points clear of second place Emley, and with a game in hand. Lincoln had a frustrating midweek experience when their match away at Brighouse was called off due to floodlight failure just after they'd taken the lead to go 2-1 up. So that'll be a bit annoying for them. Generally their form's been sort of up and down really across the course of the season. And in the corresponding fixture, which was the first ever game between the two sides back at Green Lane earlier in the season, Redcar recorded a 4-0 win. Obviously they'll be looking to keep their 100% record in the league so far this year going as they edge closer to the league title. So let's head into the Sun Hat and Villas Resort Stadium and see how it all pans out. So when you approach Lincoln United's ground, the first thing that you encounter is the cricket ground outside, which is the Hearts Home Cricket Ground, and their clubhouse, the Cricket Ground Clubhouse. And you would imagine on a warm day that this will be a very pleasant place to enjoy the cricket. And the clubhouse, I think, doubles up as a clubhouse for the football by the looks of things. And this is the entrance to the Sun Hat Villas Stadium. So there we are at the entrance to the Sun Hat Villas Stadium, home of the Whites. So when you arrive in the Sun Hat Villas Stadium, this is the pay hut. And as you can see, it's a very well appointed stadium with cover on all four sides. We've got what looks like a scoreboard in the corner there. We've got a nice main stand, decent number of seats, cover all the way behind the far goal, cover around the side, and dugouts with a sort of like a media box, I'm assuming, above. And then behind this goal, just a covering without any steps. And then there is the dressing room complex, but a very nice stadium. So here we are in the away dressing room, which is a little bit compact, but we have to assume that it meets the size requirement for the Northern Premier League, but I would imagine it's pretty tight. And the shower is actually pretty big. But there it is, as you can see, Redcar are going to be wearing their home kit today. And this is the Goalmouth Scramble fan zone in the corner. Ashby Avenue, by the way, is the historic name for this ground before the sponsors title took over. And what you've got here is a very quirky fan zone with lots of scarves. Here we got Blythe Spartans, Bradford Park Avenue. Programmes on the wall. Lincoln City, who are of course playing in a very important game themselves today. And there's a Redcar Athletic pennant. Coventry Sphinx Football Club, don't know if, not quite sure if they still exist. Bridlington Town, we got Cambridge United. I was about to say Lincoln City playing in a really important game today, first v second in League One away at Cardiff City. And Mansfield Town, of course, locked in a battle with Arsenal today in the FA Cup, so it's all very relevant. And there's an FC United and Manchester scarf at the top there, I've just spotted. There we go. We may be playing them next season, assuming we get promoted and they don't. And here's the canteen. I can see quite a decent menu. Let's just have a quick look inside. And there we have the canteen, they're hard at work. And oh, look at this. How posh is that for the sponsors? And here is the Lincoln United club shop. Not yet open, I don't think.
Spent 27 quid in there already.
And here's the boardroom here at Lincoln United, which unsurprisingly has got the Cardiff City versus Lincoln City game on. And the teams are coming out for today's game here at the Sunhat Villas and Resort Stadium. Lincoln United wearing their regular all-white kit, and Redcar today in the home shirt and a changed shorts and socks to red. Two changes from the side that won at Heaton Stand in midweek. Curtis Round comes in for Nathan Guru, and Mark Anderson replaces the suspended JJ Bartlett.
Well, at least you enjoyed it, mate.
And we're underway here in Lincoln. Anderson plays the ball across to Curtis Round. Round, and wins the first corner of the game for the Steelmen. So Anderson with the first Redcar corner of the afternoon. And just off the head of Danny Lay, and out for another corner. So John Howard this time on corner duty on the far side. And Lincoln managed to deal with the danger. Oscar Fletcher out to Curtis Round on the left. Curtis Round, and that's going to be easy for Richardson. Louis Johnson on the right. And suggestions of a foul, but in fact it's just a corner for the Steelmen. Playing short this time to Johnson. Louis Johnson, and Danny Lay tried to hook it in, but it was well dealt with by the Lincoln defence. And now played upfield by Bradley and cut out by Burles initially, and now Anderson over the top to Boys, and Boys straight at Richardson. Anderson plays the ball over the top to Burles. Fletcher, and wide of goal. Anderson, and takes a head off of Carlisle and goes out for another corner. So Anderson with the Steelman corner. Flicked round the corner by Boys. Howard out to Anderson. Anderson curls one in and well held by Richardson. Curtis Round. Picked up by Howard to Anderson. Anderson out wide to the right to Burles. Burles crosses and headed over by Oscar Fletcher. Probably should have found the target. Curtis Round. Rio May down the right. Dame Burles. Curtis Round and wins another corner. So Anderson with the latest Steelmen corner.
Fuck it all over him, ref!
Dame Burles to Johnson and wins another corner for the Steelmen. So Anderson with the latest in a string of Steelmen corners. Flicked on by Boys. Howard back out to Anderson. And headed goalwards and punch clear by Richardson. Howard with the throw.
Any card today, ref?
Fletcher. Louis Johnson swings wildly at it. Has another go. Great save by Richardson. Turn around the post. Another corner for the Steelmen. Howard with the corner. Johnson, after Richardson fumbled.
Stay down.
And Lincoln looked to counter and they've won a free kick. And the referee blows the half-time whistle here at the Sunhat Villas and Resorts Stadium. It's been a half that's been dominated by the Steelmen. I think they were probably in double figures with the corner count, but at the end of the day, combination of some poor finishing and some good saves from Richardson, keeping the scores level at the break. We go in here at Lincoln. Lincoln United 0, Redcar Athletic 0.
Half-time substitution of the afternoon for visitors of 46 minutes, replacing number 8, John Howard, number 12, Alan Burns.
And as you can see, we're back underway here at the Sunhat Villas and Resorts Stadium. Didn't quite catch the kick-off there because I was dealing with a substitution on the app, as I think you may have just heard on the tannoy. Owen Burns has come on for John Howard, who picked up a foot injury towards the end of that half. And now Redcar back on the attack and win a free kick. Burles.
Go on, Jane.
Nice ball from Anderson to Burles. And played forward aimlessly by Cribb. And Masfari looks to get another attack going with Anderson. Pinged out to the left to Curtis Round. And wins the first corner of the second half. So Anderson, as the Steelmen continue with their growing corner count. And it's going to be a free kick in a central position for the home side. So Alan Power and Owen Vincent both over the ball. And it's going to be Vincent, and just wide with Masfari spalling across his goal. Free kick on the, throw-in on the far side. Looks like it's going to be taken by the sub, Brad Fuster, who's just come on. And now Boys heads wide. Ball over the top from, and now Johnson, Boys, and turned round by Richardson. Anderson, and another great save from Richardson as some desperate defending from Lincoln keeps the score level. Over the top to Fuster, and another corner. So Anderson with the latest Steelmen corner. Fuster, and comes off his own man. Anderson, and picked up by Richardson. Kick to Lincoln on the halfway line, going to be taken by Max Baker. And hooked over the bar.
Be about 6 minutes on, I reckon.
Burles, Anderson, and well held by Richardson, low down. Johnson, Burles, and tipped over the bar by Richardson. We're moving to 7 minutes of added time. Anderson with his latest corner for the Steelmen. Headed. And late drama here as Danny Lay, Redcar captain, has been sent off for a foul, and Lincoln going for goal, and it's kept out by Masfari. And blazed over the bar. And the referee blows the final whistle here at the Sun Hat Villas and Resorts Stadium. And for the first time this year, Redcar have to settle for a share of the spoils after what was, in fairness, a fairly dull and dour second half. Redcar unable to prize open the home defence, and it finishes here. Lincoln United 0, Redcar Athletic 0. Been joined by Dave McTiernan to pick the bones out of that one. First drop points this calendar year. Dave, what did you make of that one?
Yeah, you know, credit to Lincoln. They fought hard. You know, from our side of things, I just don't think we were at it. You know, the keeper's made about 5 or 6 unbelievable saves. But yeah, you know, it's a good point in the end, and you know, on we go.
What do you put it down to, the sort of lack of fluency today? It's been mentioned by a few people. Is it just the number of games getting on top of us, or something else not quite right today?
No, just it was what it was. You know, that we kept on going. You know, we were trying to push for the winner. It didn't happen. You know, for whatever reason, it didn't seem to click in around the final third. You know, we're a bit lacklustre for whatever reason again. You know, so you know we're only human. You know, we've got a point. It was a good point in the end, and we take the positives from it.
And what have you got to say about the sending off for Danny Lay? How did you see that?
From where we stood the other side of the pitch, but it looked harsh, I'll be honest. You know, the shouting from the bench to try and get him sent off and all the crowd, and I think the referee got that one wrong. All
right, and obviously despite the draw today, we have moved further clear with Emily losing today, so 14 points now the gap. But a tough looking game coming up on Wednesday night against Blythe Spartans team that I think have won 5 on the bounce now.
Every game's tough in this league. You know, we're closing in on the title, and for us, it's just winning games of football is the most important thing. Today, unfortunately, it didn't happen for us, but you know, we're going to Wednesday, hopefully refreshed, dust ourselves down, and we go again.
All right, cheers, Dave. Thanks. So it finishes Lincoln United 0, Redcar Athletic 0. And I suppose you'd put it down to just one of those games, really, a game too many for Redcar in this latest batch. You can't fire on all cylinders all of the time, and definitely credit to Lincoln United because they had a very specific game plan for this game, which their manager alluded to in his own comments after the game, and they executed it very well. Having said that, even with that game plan, we should have been good enough to break them down. We've done it before when teams have used containing tactics against us, and we've always found a way to get that winning goal, even if it's been a 1-0 ground out victory. But we weren't able to do it today. It was partly due to the Lincoln keeper, but I think everyone would have to agree that we were definitely below par over the afternoon. And with Emily losing as well, it was a minor setback in our charge for the title because we could have gained another 2 points on them today, even though we've increased our gap by a point, which is good. It just prolongs the title chase for a little bit longer. So I think we'll wrap things up there on this one after a long journey back. The next scheduled game on this channel is a game against a very, very informed team in the shape of Blythe Spartans on Wednesday the 11th of March, a North East derby at Green Lane. And we would definitely have to significantly increase our performance levels if we're going to get a result there, because Blythe will be firing on all cylinders for that one, and will come to the Hollow confident that they can get a result. So join us for that one. We may have a bonus game for you on Tuesday night. We'll see how things go. But in any case, as ever, we do very much appreciate you watching Just a Sec TV.